Hi, everybody. Good to see you today, and welcome to live stream number 64. I started this one a little bit earlier with a countdown again, like I used to do, because that way you guys can say hi to each other ahead of time. So, hi to Frank in Connecticut, and hi to Julie Barbier in Paris, Silvana Raffo in Italy, Fran Blaine in Santa Monica, Molly Shen. Portland, Maine, Frank Geyer again. Frank Geyer says, "Wow, we can introduce and say hello to each other before the live stream. I love it." Yeah, I'll keep doing that. I had thought that it'd be better to not have that countdown, but it's definitely better this way. The reason I thought it was better is that way when people look at the replay later, they don't have to go through the intro. But anyway, people can skip ahead. Hi to Kristen Berardi, who's in Switzerland, Lori Wilson in Santa Barbara, Paul James Brown in Maui, Peter Katz in New Jersey, Joyce Glasgow in Seattle, where it's 111 degrees. That's insane. I just can't believe that. I worry so much about what's going to happen this summer and in summers to come. Hi to Freda Tepfer, who's in Erie, Pennsylvania, Cameron Aarons in Chicago, Amalia Sanchez, who's in Seoul. Wow. I wonder if we've ever had a listener in Seoul before. Jen Detour in Paris, Carol McGoffin in Vermont, Danielle Pralong in Switzerland, Isa Renardi in Brussels, and Valeria, who is, I think, in Italy as well. Anyway, great to have you all here, and I think I'm going to start this live stream by doing something I haven't done in a while, which is just do a free improvisation without any technology or anything, just making some music up. So hope you enjoy this. Hi to Frank Schumann, who's in Paris, Michael Loftus in Portland, Grace Chu, who's at the Origami USA Convention 2021. As you'll remember, Grace Chu had made some pretty amazing origami art featuring squirrels and pianos for my 50th live stream. Hi to MJ Williams. Hi, MJ. He's a great jazz singer who lives in Missoula, not in Missoula, but in Montana. And George Thomas Wilson, who's in New York, and Ron Rosenthal, who's in Miami. And now I'm going to play some music for you. Ah, little free improvisation for you. It's it's a special day for me because I just spent the last 4 days recording. Well, it was really 2 days of recording, but there was a day of setup and a day of breakdown. So I spent basically, we set up on Wednesday night, recorded all day Thursday and Friday, um, and then broke the setup down on Saturday. So basically, I spent the last few days or most of this week focused on making a trio recording of the compositions that I've composed for these live streams during the pandemic. And there were 20 compositions that we recorded. And this was with two of my favorite musicians, Jorge Roeder on bass and Eric Harlan on drums. And it was a really intense week. So now on the Monday, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of like just getting back into the zone, just kind of recovering. Joyce Glasgow says, a woman standing in a field of wheat, gently swaying in the breeze of an open plain, meditating on life in general, mind both filled with recollections and a sense of freeing emptiness, eyes wide open in wonder. I love these visions that come to you, Joyce. It's really special. Carol McGoffin says, simply divine. I'm very tired having stayed up too late watching Anne with an E, and this improv makes me think of Anne, vivid imagination, and how important that is. The imagination. Yeah, imagination. It's a magical thing. Okay. I'm gonna play something else now. Silvana Raffo says, can the album be called Pan Tepfer? Yeah, believe it or not, actually the common way of saying it is tan Tepfer. Yeah, so you really invert the consonants there, and then I get to have a tan, which is not that common for me. Frank Geyer says, I'm in the mood for Ellington. Okay, let me play some Ellington for you. How about In a Sentimental Mood? Here we go. In a Sentimental Mood by Duke Ellington. Uh, yeah, really kind of very interesting experience playing music right now. I feel kind of emptied of music in some ways, but those are sometimes the best moments to play music. Teresa Sewell says, "Greetings from Northern California. I'm filled with peace and gratitude. Happy to be here with all of you." Happy you're here with us, Teresa. There's a request for a song by Carla Bley. That's a really great idea. A few live streams ago, I did a whole series of Carla Bley compositions, and oh, interesting. my piano just went to silent mode for some reason, uh, and I'd basically not played any of her music before, even though I've always admired it, and I guess this is my chance. Maybe I'll try playing Lawns since there was a specific request for Lawns. All right, I'm going to try Lawns. Here we go. Lawns by Carla Bley. My second time ever performing that piece. Pretty bold composition, I'd say. Very minimalistic, but it's kind of like when I hear the music of Philip Glass, it's like he's doing the absolute minimum to keep things really interesting. And I think that's a very rich area to explore, that area where it's like never boring, but right at the cusp of being boring. Jan Tulp, I think, says hello from the Netherlands. Amazing. Thanks for joining us, Jan. Yeah. Maybe I'll play another Carla Bley song. Monica Herzig says, one of my absolute favorites to play. She is a master in minimalism and effectiveness. Yeah, really great way to put it. Isa Rinardi says, you said you felt kind of empty, but it sounds to me like there's still a lot coming out of your nothingness. Thanks, Isa. Yeah, I mean, I do feel pretty drained today, but as I mentioned, sometimes that's the best place to play music from. Yeah, okay. Joyce Glasgow says, I think playing from this empty space is the best place of all, a bottomless well in which to dive deep and then deeper still. And Monica Herzig says, James Singleton told me the story behind the title. Larry Willis used to rehearse with her, and his mom would call asking for Lawrence with a no accent, so it sounded like lawns. Oh, with like what's no? So it sounded like lawns. So is Lawrence here? So Lawrence sounded like lawns. That's a really interesting story. Thanks for sharing that. I mentioned when I played Carla's compositions on a live stream, weeks ago, that she has a really wonderful website. If you go to, I think it's carlabley.com, or if you just search Carla Bley, it'll come right up. It's incredibly whimsical and really fun. Oh, New Orleans is NO, of course, yeah. Oh, hey, Will Vinson, amazing saxophonist and composer, has joined us. He's, Will, I think, is in Australia. Hi, Will. Hope you're doing well. Okay, should I do another Carla Bley song? I kind of feel like doing another one. Let's see. Oh yeah, there was this really beautiful one called, which I remember I wasn't able to pronounce correctly, I think. It's called Utwiklingsang. Utwiklingsang. And I think I'll try playing that. Here we go. Utwiklingsang by Carla Bley. Utwiglingsang by Carla Bley. As Monica Herzig points out, it's from the 1988 album Duets with Steve Swallow. Steve Swallow, of course, and Carla Bley have been married for a long time. Roberto Stefanelli says, greetings from San Marino. Truly amazing to be playing for all of you all around the world. It's really something incredible. I think it's time to do something a little more up. How about Bouncing with Bud by Bud Powell? Um, Bouncing with Bud by uh, by Bud Powell. Frank Geyer said he likes the voice mic, but it should have been off. I hope it was off. Definitely should have been off that whole time. I don't really want to hear. I really don't. I don't really want you to hear me singing along to what I'm playing. Daniela Prolong asks, "Do you have anything by Horace Silver in your fingers, Dan?" I could probably get away with something from my father. Joyce Glasgow says, "Leaping lizards bounce around from note to note in a contra." Oh, sorry, mic is off. Here we go. Mic is on now. Joyce Glasgow says, "Leaping lizards bounce around from note to note in a contra dance back and forth. Swing your partner around and around, dancing across the keys, changing places from high to low, joyfully creating a tune." Yeah, so I was, Silvana Raffo says, "Something about snow as I'm melting." What do I know that's about smell? I mean, I don't really, about snow, I don't really want to play a Christmas song. But Danielle Prolong asked if I had anything by Horace Silver. Trying to think if I can pull off Song from My Father right now. Maybe I'll try Song from My Father. See what happens. Yeah. Maybe I'll do some algorithmic drums with it. Let's see. Let's see if this is working. I think my Disclavier setup is not quite working. Freda Tepfer asks, "Did your grandfather write any music?" You know, that's a really great question. I really need to find that out, actually. Not to my knowledge, but I would be amazed if he didn't write any music. I mean, he must have. He must have written some tunes. He was a jazz pianist on the West Coast. So that's something I gotta figure out. Thanks for asking me that. Yeah, Kristen Berardi says, "You're an algorithmic drum." All right, well, I'll try to be an algorithmic drum. And we'll see what happens. Here's Song from My Father. And I'm going to dedicate this to my dad, who said he'd be watching today. So if you're there, Dad, this is for you. Song for my father. For my father. That was fun to try to remember that song. Definitely didn't get it entirely right, but close. Joyce Glasgow says, what a great interpretation of Song for My Father. I love the deep, rich, low notes, your chord choices, melodic nuances, and mood. Thank you, Joyce. It was really nice to see several of you yesterday. For the people who support these live streams on Patreon, I do a monthly Q&A on Zoom, and we just chat instead of doing this format where we're actually where I can only read text from you. On these Q&As we can actually talk, which is really nice. And so yesterday was kind of fun because I got to play some rough mixes of this brand new music we just recorded in the preceding days for people, and it's really nice to have your encouragement on that, and nice to see people like Joyce and Danielle and Isa and Ron. So yeah. Maureen McNair says Gary Peacock would let us know how he found Keith Jarrett's vocalizations somewhat distracting, yet they became endearing. Up to you, but I think most here are more than okay with whatever vocalizations you do. Well, I mean, I think a shade of vocalization is acceptable, but if I actually have the talk mic on while I play, then it's really loud. I mean, it's really not great. So I definitely prefer to keep that off. Frank Geyer says, DT, it's been an hour. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, Frank. How are you? And Frank suggests I play some Bach. That's a great idea. I'll play some Bach. Let's see. How about the B minor invention? Here we go. inventions in B minor, B flat major, and A major for you. Just kind of felt like playing all three of those. I haven't played them in a while. Steve Cantor says, thank you so much for the JSB, just what was needed here in sweltering Portland. Glad I could help with the temperature. And Joyce Glasgow requests an improvisation with voice. So I'll do that. I haven't done that in a long time. I'll do a free improvisation with some singing. Here we go. da 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 la la la. Oh, oh la la da da. Well, free improvisation with voice, as requested by Joyce Glasgow. Carol McGoffin says, it feels like you are singing to a child. That's a really lovely thing to say. I feel like, actually I had this experience, I don't know if I've told you guys about it before. I think I might not have. Years ago, maybe in 2015 or so, or maybe after, maybe 2000, yeah, something around then, 14, 15. I had a series of solo concerts in Japan. The main one was actually in this incredible concert hall in Tokyo called Trifoni Sumida Hall. And I also had some smaller concerts in the rest of Japan, and one of them was in Nagoya. And it was some kind of special event for the employees of a large glasses manufacturing company, company that manufactures reading glasses. So it was a kind of a different audience from the audience that would normally come to, you know, a concert in a concert hall. And I remember that at one point I was playing the Goldberg Variations. Toward the end of the whole concert, like maybe 2/3 of the way in, there was a small child who started crying in the back of the audience, and this was like a relatively small space. Maybe there were 200 or 300 people there, and at first I noticed myself getting a little bit annoyed, like maybe whoever the parent of the child is could take the child outside, but they just seem to be staying here. I'm getting a little frustrated. And then suddenly it dawned on me that maybe I could try to direct my music to this child and try to soothe them somehow. And so I just kind of took a deep breath and then started playing the Goldberg Variations in a really different way, really directing them in the most soothing way possible at this child, and it totally worked. And everybody noticed it in the hall too. They totally understood what I was doing, and I think that was a really memorable moment for me. So yeah, playing for a child, I think, is kind of a beautiful idea. Pram Putra is in Indonesia. That's incredible. Thanks for joining us, Pram. Okay, well, it's 3:20, and I should probably play one last thing for you. Maureen McNair says, I know how vocalists can be annoyed by comparisons. By the way, I definitely do not call myself a vocalist. I know how vocalists can be annoyed by comparisons, but sometimes I hear Kenny Rankin when you sing. Not exactly, of course. You have your unique, wonderful sound and expressions, but I like the way you honor tones and harmonics with no schmaltz. I'm actually really not very familiar with Kenny Rankin, so maybe I should check him out. Do you guys have any requests for a last tune? Joyce Glasgow requests something by Joni, which maybe that's a good idea, seeing as last week was like the 50th anniversary of her album Blue. maybe I could play. I don't think I could play a song from Blue, because I do sing A Case of You. I mean, I've sung that before on these live streams, and in fact, I think I sang it a couple weeks ago. But I kind of have to remember the lyrics, I think. Hijira also might be a little bit of a stretch right now, but I think I might be able to do both sides now. I'll do both sides now. Maybe I'll try it in an on-time signature. I've never tried that before. I think I'll try both sides now in 5/8. Okay? Okay, let's see if this works. I've never tried this before. And flows of Ferris wheels. I forgot. I forgot the lyrics there. Okay, we're gonna try this again. And flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and they snow on everyone. So many things I could have done, but clouds got in the way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Ferris wheels, that dizzy dancing way that you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show, and you leave them laughing as you go. But if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads and tell me that I've changed. But something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I really don't know life. I really don't know life at all. That was fun. I kind of enjoyed playing that in 5/8. It's amazing to me how just taking a song and putting it in another time signature, as you know, I've often done with jazz standards. It's amazing to me how doing that makes the song feel fresh again. Not that Joni really needs the help. It's a very fresh song, but for me, that just kind of helps me get into it more. So, yeah, that was fun. Monica Herzig says, "Nice. How do you remember all the lyrics?" Well, that's not easy for me, but that one they seem to stick a little more than some other songs. Luca Simoes says, "So beautiful. When does the singing album come out?" Thanks, man. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Thanks to all of you. It's been really wonderful connecting with you. To those of you who don't know, you can support these live streams on Patreon. If you go to dantepfer.com/donate, there are links there. So thanks to all of you who do support these live streams. That's really what makes them possible, and it's especially what makes it possible for me to invite guests on these, because of course I wouldn't want to do that without paying them. So yeah, thanks again, you guys, and stay well until next week. Take care. Bye-bye.